Good morning, Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Um, we're going to have an interesting conversation today. So I want you guys to get your pen and get your paper. And we're going to be talking about, does anxiety have the last say so in your life, right? Coming from somebody that has had debilitating anxiety, that has had some form of OCD, right? I have dealt with anxiety in so many forms. Anxiety masks itself in so many disorders that a lot of us don't even know, right? Some of us don't even understand that we're dealing with anxiety and that we're allowing anxiety to kind of like control our world, right? Or control our life. So today I want to talk about the particular protocol and the particular system that I use to overcome my debilitating anxiety. My anxiety has been in remission for about a few years now. Not to say I don't get anxiety, but I just know what to do. I know how to nip it in the bud very fast. So I don't experience long-term effects from my anxiety. I'm the type of person that couldn't sleep, or if I did sleep, I get woken up out of my sleep from anxiety, heart racing, body sweating, don't want to go outside because I'm afraid, ruminating. Like my anxiety was tremendous. Like my anxiety was very bad. So I wanted to go over what helped me overcome my debilitating anxiety. So I want you to get your pen. I want you to get your paper. We're going to be actually coming from a book. Remember I told you guys yesterday when we talked about how when you are experiencing depression that you can't manifest while depressed, right? That was yesterday's message. Today I'm asking you, does anxiety has the last say so in your life? And I want you to sit there and really think about that question. Does anxiety has the last say in my life? Does anxiety control what I do, who I talk to, where I go? And if that is the case, that means that we have a problem here and that we need to fix it. So I'm going to show you guys the book, which is the protocol that I use to overcome my anxiety. So get your pen and get your paper, and we're going to go over it really quickly. So this is the book that I use. This is the book. So it's called Dare, The New Way to End Anxiety and Stop Panic Attacks. I used to have panic attacks 3-4 times a day. So this is coming from somebody that has, you can tell this book has been used. This is coming from somebody that has went through the ringers when it comes to anxiety and a panic disorder, right? And my panic disorder bred OCD in me. So I am coming from experience. So if you are someone that's experiencing anxiety, I'm going to go ahead and start letting you guys know the first step. So DARE is 4 steps, right? Each letter has a word for it, right? So it's going to be D, right? And D is going to be considered diffuse, okay? So most times when a lot of us are having anxiety, we spend our time trying to avoid anxiety or trying to pretend that it's not there, and it just kind of get bigger, right? Or we try to please our anxiety. That's what a lot of us do as well. Like if you get anxiety going to this particular store, you will start to find yourself not going to this particular store. If you get anxiety driving this particular route, you will find yourself trying to not drive this particular route because you want to not experience anxiety. But what you don't know is doing that is feeding the anxiety, right? You know how they say you don't give a bad child what they really want because they continue to do that behavior thinking that they get what they want. So that is what you don't want to do when it comes to anxiety, right? You don't want to manipulate your life in order to please anxiety because it would never be pleased. It would just find something else. So you will find yourself 2-3 years from now never leaving your house, not talking to anybody, not driving in the car, not driving airplanes. Like you will find yourself tremendously have manipulated your whole life. Thank you so much for liking the live, just to not experience anxiety. And that is why I say anxiety has the last say so in a lot of our lives, right? So the first step in this protocol to overcoming anxiety. So we're not talking about, oh, we're going to just try to do this to make anxiety calm down. No, we're talking about long term, right? What can I do today that's going to help me in the long run overcome my fear, which is what anxiety truly is in the grand scheme of things, right? So we're going to start with D, which is diffuse. And I'm going to go ahead and just give you guys just a little bit of what diffuse is. So let's say that you're experiencing anxiety, right? Let's say your heart is palpitating, right? You're sweating. You feel like this heap of fear coming out of nowhere. You don't know where it's coming from. Most times for me, my anxiety happens. I don't know why it happens. You know, people are like, what are you afraid of? Or what you're fearful of? I don't know. It just comes. For most of us that have a disorder of anxiety, sometimes it comes out of nowhere, right? And we just pinpoint or try to attach something to anxiety to make ourselves feel better, right? So let's say, for example, I go inside of a store and I'm shopping, right? And I get a panic attack in the store. I would think the store made me have a panic attack or made me have a panic attack, and I would not go to that store anymore. When in reality, that panic attack could have happened anywhere. But in order for our brains as humans, we try to make sense of things. And that's what our brain do. It has to find correlation to make us feel safe. So you could have had an anxiety attack at school, right? And you think it's the school. So now you're going to try to avoid this classroom or avoid this person or avoid this hallway because you're thinking that this has a direct correlation to your anxiety. But you could have been anywhere at that moment and you would have had that panic attack. So why not try to deal with the symptoms of anxiety versus trying to control where we are when anxiety happens? Okay, so number one is D. So that's going to be diffuse, right? So diffuse is when you feel anxiety coming on. What you're going to do is you're going to diffuse it. And I'm going to read you guys what it says here. It says, stage one, first of all, panic attacks are a problem for you. They become less frequent in a very short space of time. This happens because you learn how to remove the fear of the body sensation. You have been triggering them. Your confidence in your body's ability to handle stress starts to return, enabling you to visit again the places you have been avoiding. And this is how you will start to feel when you start to truly handle your anxiety. So I am trying to get to the page, you guys, so that we can talk about D, which is going to be considered diffuse, right? And just give me a moment, and I'm going to read it to you guys so that we can actually read it together. And like I said, I've been doing this book for several years, and my anxiety has been non-existent. I actually been in remission for a couple of years. So I want you to drop in the comment diffuse. While you give me some time to find it. Drop in the comment, the first step is diffuse. When you're feeling anxiety, the first step is diffuse. So go ahead and drop that in the comments for me so that we can go ahead and start. So I have it now. So you guys don't think I'm just making something up, right? Step one, diffuse. Now, I'm going to go ahead and actually let you know what all of this means, and then we're going to start with step one, which is diffuse. So D is diffuse, A is allow, R is run towards, and E is engage, right? So diffuse, let me make sure this is not too long for us to read. Okay, it's not that bad. Okay, anxiety is nothing more than nervous energy in your body, right? Did you know that? I want you to comment if you knew that. This energy rises and falls just like waves on the ocean, right? Which what a lot of us try to do is fight the wave, and you never win. You ever been in the ocean, right? And you're trying to like walk your way, force your way through the wave, and you get tumbled over every single time. You are not stronger than that wave. So why not, when a lot of people, what I see, because I'm the type of person that try to walk through the wave and bulldoze my way through, but I see people literally floating as the wave going. That is what you want to do as anxiety happens, right? So it has a rise, and anxiety is going to always have a fall if you allow it to take its natural course. Anxiety is going to always spike up and fall down, and it is just nervous energy, right? The first step of the DARE response retrains you how you immediately respond to anxiety. It's your first point of contact with the anxiety, and it's a very quick and easy step to implement. Anxiety often comes from out of nowhere and then escalates really fast. As we saw in the previous chapter, anxiety initial trigger can be caused by several different things: exhaustion, stress, poor diet, etc. But it's rapidly escalating because you are going against the grain of your nervous arousal. You are responding to it the wrong way. The biggest mistake most people make when anxiety strikes is to get caught up in the what if. Oh man, I used to get caught up in that so bad. What if I die right here? What if a fire just happened? What if I'm allergic to this food? Like, I used to get so caught, let me know if I'm alone. I used to get so caught up in the what if game. When I started reading this book, I'm like, it understands me. It's not just trying to give me a pill, but it understands what I'm going through. We get stuck in this what if loop, which is what I call it, right? So it says, it's going to give you some examples. What if my heart doesn't stop pounding? What if I have a panic attack here in the car? What if this constant anxiety doesn't go away? What if I faint? Who would help me? What if my mind never stops obsessing over thoughts? Since so many times there have been a wire to seek out potential threats and then to avoid them, which is what I told you guys in the beginning. You try to find a correlation to why you're feeling anxiety, right? And then you want to avoid them, when that correlation could not be the case. You could have been anywhere and had that anxiety attack. But as a human, we try to find, like, pinpoint what is causing the threat and try to avoid that. That's just human nature, right? The world we live in was often, long time ago, a life or death environment. And what if art was useful for cognitive process that developed to keep us out of immediate danger, right? So what we're going to do in order to diffuse anxiety, that's the first one. D is diffuse. You're going to, when you have those what if thoughts, you need to answer the question in the right way and limit the potential for the anxiety to increase. So listen to this. A good response to a what if is so what? I know this sounds so minimal. Like, Lala, how is this going to help me? But I promise you, the repetition of following this protocol has changed my entire life. It has changed my entire life. So drop in the comments, so what? That is how you're going to respond to your what if when it comes to anxiety. Okay? You're going to respond with so what? So, for example, what if my heart stopped pounding? So what? My heart is an incredible strong muscle. This is nothing more than light workout for it. What if I have a panic attack here in the car? So what? I'll pull over and get through it like I've always done in the past. What if I faint in public? Who would help me? If I faint. Someone will help me. And in 2 minutes, I'll be conscious again. What if my mind never stops obsessing over these thoughts? I hope you guys are taking notes. So what? Thoughts are just thoughts and can't harm me. Eventually, my anxious mind would settle and the thoughts would dissipate. It doesn't matter if you don't fully believe these things, okay? It doesn't matter of that. The key point here is to quickly diffuse the buildup of fear by answering the what ifs in the right way with a strong so what attitude. Answering with so what is effective because it neutralizes the fear and places you back into position of power. So we're neutralizing the fear. Even though you think so what and you don't believe what you're telling yourself, eventually after a while you start to neutralize that fear and it doesn't feel so aggressive. Okay? If so what doesn't feel like the appropriate response for you, then come up with a response that you like. So like whatever or oh well, something like that to give you that same reaction, right? So now we're going to go to, and let me know if you don't understand D, which is diffuse. When you get those what ifs, right? And even if you don't think what if, your body is thinking what if. So if you feel like your heart racing and you're like, damn, like, what if I stop breathing? Like, oh my gosh, what if my heart stopped beating? Like, y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't let me just be left alone out here in the wilderness, okay? Even if you feel those things, you're going to respond with a so what or a whatever and give yourself a response, right? So example, what if my heart stopped beating like I told you? So what? My heart knows what to do. My heart is smart. My heart can, these are the things that you're going to do with the so what to neutralize the fear and to put yourself back in power. Now, that's not going to immediately dissipate the anxiety. So we have to take this step by step. We can't expect this to work overnight because this is a holistic treatment. Okay, this is not like an anxiety pill. But after a while, what you will notice is that you know how to handle your anxiety naturally, and that's the most powerful place to be in. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go to A, which is going to be allow it. Okay, a lot of people hate this one. A lot of people hate this step. I hated it, to be honest with you, because I didn't want to allow anxiety. I wanted it to stop. That's the reason why I'm reading this book. I wanted anxiety to stop. So it's going to say step 2, allow it. Now that you started to respond to anxiety in the right way, it's crucial you keep going by releasing all resistance so that any anxiety that's still present can dissipate even faster. You do this by accepting the anxiety that you will feel and allowing it to manifest in whatever way that it wishes or chooses. You see, fear and anxiety can come on suddenly, that almost everyone's initial response to it is the same. We resist it. It's normal. It's a human thing. It's a human nature to want to avoid an uncomfortable experience like anxiety. We rather run away from it or try to block it out. Unfortunately, no one has ever told us that the wrong response to have it. It's the wrong response because when we fight anxiety, that effort traps us with the same force we put into trying to fight it. When we run from it, it chases us and keeps us in the same predicament. You'll always be stuck in a state of fear if you're always trying to keep your distance from it. You can't outrun anxiety. You need to move with it. You can't outbeat a wave. You have to move with it, right? Now listen to what it says here. And I hope you guys, I'm reading here. See how I have everything like now? I'm reading from here for you guys so that you can understand. So an anxiety disorder is exhausting because it's your own resistance repeatedly coming back at you. If you're feeling strong, sometimes you can fight off the anxious feeling for a while. But as soon as your guard come down, it's back and as strong as ever. So how do we stop fighting and move with it? You drop the resistance and embrace it. You allow anxiety to be present. You can start to do that by repeating to yourself, I accept and allow this anxious feeling. I accept and allow this anxious feeling. I have this highlighted because I repeatedly told myself this over and over and over. And it was the most uncomfortable thing ever because I was so scared because I didn't know what was going on. But I repeatedly said, I accept and allow this anxious feeling, right? What we resist, it persists. That's even in life. What you resist is going to persist. That's just natural, right? So we have to accept so that we can transform. We are transformed by what we accept, okay? Allowing anxiety to be stopped stops the mental friction and gives your nervous system an opportunity to wind down. Going back to your wave analogy, allowing enables you to gracefully move up and at the top of the wave. So no matter what the bodily sensation or thought is that makes you anxious, you must learn to experience it in the right way. Allow it to be present and then come to accept it for what it is. Nervous arousal and nothing more. Okay, we put so much emphasis around anxiety when it's just nervous energy that you have in your body that your body doesn't know how to release. That's it. It's not that your heart gonna stop beating. It's not that your head gonna explode. It's not that those people don't like you. It's not that this place is not safe. It's literally just nervous energy that your body doesn't know how to release, right? So this wave of nervous arousal is happening. You may never find out why it's manifesting, but for right now, that's not important. What's important is how you respond to it. So remember, I hope you guys wrote that down. I accept and allow this anxious feeling. So number 1 was diffusing it, right? So what to your what ifs. Number 2 is allow it. So I accept and allow this anxious feeling. And how you're going to do that, you're going to repeatedly say that to yourself, but you're going to also remind yourself that anxiety is not this big bad wolf. Anxiety is just nervous arousal energy that's in my body that my body doesn't know how to release. So the only way that it know how to do that is by what it's doing, right? So that is step 2. Step 2 is going to be allow it, okay? Now, so from now on, I want you to stop asking yourself, will I feel okay today? Instead, ask yourself, what level of anxious discomfort am I willing to embrace today in order to heal? So you have to be able to confront what it is that you want to heal. There's no way around it. That's with anything, even with anxiety. You have to be able to confront it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and skip over to 3, which is going to be run towards. because I don't want to have you guys here all day. So get your pen and paper so we can go ahead and do step 3, which is run towards, right? The previous 2 steps are the primary drivers that heals your anxiety. They propel you forward and often are enough to get you where you want to be. However, the anxiety still feels like a harmful threat hanging over you. You need to shatter that illusion by running towards it. You run to your anxiety, or you run towards your anxiety by telling yourself you feel excited about your anxious thoughts or feelings. Remember, anxiety is nothing more than a wave of energy flowing through your body. This energy will not hurt you. It's your interpretation of this energy that causes problems and trap you into this vicious cycle. So most times anxiety is about what we perceive it to be, right? Because if we change our perception around anxiety, which is what it really is, it's just nervous energy that is trying to release itself, right? If we understand that perception, we won't have such a severe reaction to anxiety, which is truly what anxiety is about, is our reaction to what we are feeling, right? Fear and excitement are just different sides of the same coin. When we are widely excited, you experience the exact same sensations. And I know that to be true for me, because when I'm tremendously excited, I get trembly, I get shaky, my head start hurting, my heart start beating fast. Like I am like excited, right? But guess what? I put that perception, oh, I'm just excited, and I move on. But what if we do the same thing for anxiety? Okay? So the secret is learning how to flip your perception, see, I just told you guys, of these sensations from negative to positive. Once you master the ability to see them as nothing more than a heightened manifestation of energy in your body, you begin to end the illusion of a threat. Let the raw energy of your nervous system express itself fully. Let it excite you rather than terrify you. In clinical psychology, flipping one perspective, like it's called arousal reappraisal. This is the conscious act of choosing to adopt a new perspective towards anxious body sensation. So remember, thank you so much, Art Dilher, for your like here. Remember, step 3 is run towards. So 1 is diffuse. So you're going to be so what, whatever, to those what if thoughts, which is most times what we all go through. Number 2, what was number 2, you guys? Hold on. Oh, allow it. Number 2 is going to be allow that feeling. You can't move past it, right? You can't go anywhere but through it. You have to allow that feeling, right? And something that you can do to affirm that is, I accept and allow this anxious feeling. That is step 2. I hope you guys writing it down. Number 3, which is what we are, is run towards. So you're going to run towards that anxiety, right? You're going to run towards what it is that you're feeling. You're going to allow yourself to feel that, right? And I'm going to tell you guys how they're going to help us do this. Give me a moment. So if we refrain our perception of an anxious sensation and move towards them skillfully, we become less intimidated or threatened by them. We achieve this by saying this. This is the affirmation or the mantra. So get your paper and pen. I'm excited by this feeling. Write that down. I'm excited by this feeling. Put it in the comments too, so somebody else can see it. Repeat that phrase several times until you feel a shift in how you're perceiving this energy. I'm excited by this feeling. I'm excited by this feeling. And what you're trying to do is disarm your body to make your body believe that what you're experiencing is not harmful, right? Say it out loud if you're alone to yourself. Thank you so much, Art Dilher. I'm excited by this feeling. Thank you so much for writing that down there. People need to be able to see. Say it out loud if you're alone or to yourself if you're in the company of others. Stand up and bounce lightly from one foot to the other, right? Like athletes do before they begin a race. Choose to feel excited, right? So what I love about this book is that it's science-based, but it also gives you mantras. So it has a little sprinkle of spirituality. So it correlates everything, right? So you're going to get up, you're going to try to what a good thing is to exert that extra energy, which is what we understand anxiety is, right? It's extra energy that we have that our body don't know what to do. And look at me, I'm starting to wave, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to stand up, or you can do this. You can just rock back and forth. What you don't understand is this is science-based. You are releasing that energy. So you're going to be rocking back and forth. I'm excited by this feeling. I'm excited by this feeling, and keep repeating it. Keep repeating it. And if you're by yourself, say it loud. And if you're not by yourself, say it in your head repeatedly, over and over and over. Okay? The idea here is to stop your brain from wrongfully interpreting the sensation of anxiety as a threat, and instead to trick your anxious mind into an excited state. The same kind of arousal you might feel if you are riding a roller coaster. Now, how many of you ride roller coasters? I don't, because I don't like being on roller coasters, okay? But I get the analogy, right? It's basically saying, I'm excited, bring it on. When people get on roller coasters, okay, they are in the air. They are being dropped. They're sweaty. Their heart is pounding. They're screaming. Like, they are running towards the anxiety. Don't you find that like crazy, right? But guess what? They don't see it as anxiety. They see it as excitement. So why is it that we can't do the same thing? When these people get on these roller coasters, they be so far in the air. I mean, just moving and going, screaming. Some of them be crying and go on it again. They're running towards. So you need something to help you understand what step 3 is when it comes to run towards. Think about somebody that get on roller coasters. And if you get on roller coasters, that's even more better, because you'll be able to use yourself in this predicament, right? Think about people that get on roller coasters. They have the same reactions that we have when we're experiencing anxiety. But instead, they see it as excitement because they get off that roller coaster and go on another one. So that is how you know it's the difference in perception that causes the threat. Okay? So we on the last step. And I want you to write in the comments, step 4, engage. Write in the comments, step 4, engage. This is the last step, you guys. Last step. And let me know when you're ready. Step 4, engage. All right, I'm going to start. Step 4, engage. Write it down, right? The 4th step, thank you so much, Art. The step 4 is engage. The 4th step in the DARE response is short, but it's crucial as it completes the whole movement from start to finish. It's designed to keep your anxious mind out of the way so that your nervous system can fully desensitize. I'm sorry, I'm tongue-tied on that one. And relax back down. Thank you so much, Art Dilher. I appreciate that. After you apply the previous 3 steps of the DARE program, your anxious mind would naturally look for ways to reel you back in of a state of fear and worry. That's natural. Okay, when it's like, oh, okay. Oh, she calling my bluff. Oh my goodness. Okay. It's going to find different things to try to get you back in that cycle of fear. But I want you to understand that that's a normal reaction. That's a part of the game. That's a part of the cycle. So it's normal that your body is reacting that way. Remember that. I don't want you to think, oh, this ain't working. Never mind. Don't do that. Okay? So in order to avoid this, you need to engage with something that takes up your full attention, right? What that means is that once you diffuse the initial fear, that's the first one. The second one, allow the anxiety to be present. The third one, you should then ride out the declining wave of anxiety by occupying yourself with anxiety that really engage your mind. Anything at that time takes up your full attention, such as reading a magazine, focusing on specific tasks at work. Thank you so much, I appreciate that. Or having a conversation with someone in person. Doing this keeps you in a state of flow, prevents you from getting hooked back into the anxiety loop. What most of us do, okay, is that we do step 4 as the only step. So we try to ignore, okay? There's a difference. We try to ignore, which is not, step 4 is engage. We try to ignore, okay? So I'm almost done, you guys. Give me a moment. The most important point here is to not be idle. And idleness is the enemy of recovery. If you're idle, you'll ruminate and check in all the time. Checking in is that habit all anxious people have. I have it. Of scanning your mind and body to see if you're feeling anxious, right? It's the anxious mind scanning for danger. You dramatically reduce the number of times you check in if you engage with something to occupy your mind. So for example, imagine you're sitting at work and suddenly feel a wave of anxiety. Maybe your heart skips a beat or your mind fills with anxious thought. One, you immediately respond by diffusing it with a playful so what, whatever attitude. And it's going to break it down for us again. I love this. Two, then you move into allowing any residual anxiety you feel to be fully present. And if you guys wasn't here for the whole thing, these are the steps about how we're going to handle anxiety, right? So step two, then you move allowing to any residual anxiety you feel to be fully present. You get comfortable with your anxious discomfort, and you're going to say this mantra: I accept and allow this anxious feeling. Thank you so much, Sahid. Now run towards the anxious feeling by telling yourself that you are in fact excited by them. I'm excited by this feeling. Step four, then finally you move your focus back to what you were doing. In this case, you engage with the work in front of you without feeling a need to check in all the time, because you know you're doing the right thing to heal your anxiety. Please note, this is a very subtle but key difference from engagement and distraction. Engage with something is not a form of distraction. You're not trying to distract yourself from the anxiety. You're engaging with life again. You're allowing the anxiety to be present, but at the same time, you're not going to stop living your life. Okay, now this book is very big. Okay, you guys, I have read this whole book back to front several times. Those are the 4 steps of anxiety. Okay, or those are the 4 steps how we're going to handle anxiety. Okay, most of us allow anxiety to control our life, and we're not doing that no more. We're not doing that anymore. And we're speaking from someone that has experienced debilitating anxiety. Someone has stayed in the house because they were afraid. Someone has stopped eating certain foods because they thought they were allergic when they wasn't. You are speaking to someone that has been there, okay? I'm not just coming on here speaking to you guys just to speak to you guys about it, but I have experienced it on a deeper level, okay? Someone that wanted to unalive themselves because I was just so tired of fighting against my own mind, okay? And this book has changed my life with several other things that I have done. Now, I want you to understand, if you don't want to read the whole book, because it takes a lot to read all of this, okay? To be honest with you, what you really need is the bread and the butter, which is the 4 steps and how to do those. I want you to go to the top of my profile. I have an ebook called The Habitual Journey, and it has the steps that I took to overcome debilitating anxiety and depression, okay? I want you to go to the link in my bio, press it. It says The Habitual Journey ebook. It's only $5, you guys, because I want to help. I want to give you guys what I did step by step, no fluff, no nothing. It gets straight to the point of what I did to overcome debilitating anxiety and also debilitating clinical depression naturally, holistically, like what I did to overcome those things. So go ahead and go get that. And I want you to come back, because you have to take one action step from the ebook. I don't want you just buying the ebook just to buy it, right? I appreciate the support, but I want you to buy it to actually do what's in it, because it's coming to a point now in your life where it's time to start to make change. At some point, we have to become exhausted with feeling the same way. At some point, we have to become exhausted with being sick and tired. At some point, we have to become exhausted with not having answers. And most of us that deal with depression, anxiety, OCD, whatever, we're taking medication, but there's no real answer. So we're supposed to be on this medication for years to come with no real answer. Okay? So take it from someone that has been through the ringer, that has been through the fire, so that I'm able to help other people that may have experienced the same thing, cut your time in half. And that's the most important thing. When you're looking for someone to help you, you want someone to cut your suffering time in half, because we're all going to suffer at some point in our life, right? We're all going to experience some level of suffering. But you're looking for someone that's going to cut that suffering in half, which is why you get coaches and mentors and therapists to help you cut that time in half. So let's say, for example, your suffering was going to be for 5 years, but you get this ebook, or you get this therapy, or you get this coaching, and now your suffering may not be for only a year, 6 months, 3 months. Just depends on how willing you are to do the actual work to overcome what it is that you're experiencing, because you have the power. No one else. You have the power to overcome whatever it is that you put your mind to. And I believe in you. I don't know if anyone told you that today, but I believe in you. So that is why I'm offering you guys this ebook. It's called The Habitual Journey. And it's near and dear to my heart, to be honest with you. And I'm not going to cry with y'all today, okay? It's near and dear to my heart because it's the exact steps that I took to overcome anxiety. It took me over 5 years. The exact steps I took to overcome depression naturally. It took me 5 years of taking medication, researching, taking bits and pieces from every little source and putting it together. I'm so happy to hear that, her. And tell me your name. It took me every step, like I was researching all night because I couldn't sleep. And anxiety was beating my ass. Everywhere I go, I would wake up out of my sleep, heart palpitations, sweating, and deep panic. I was just asleep. What the hell? Is it Ricky? Let me know if I said it right. Like, what the hell happened, right? And these exact steps, I took it and I put it into an ebook for you guys. And like I said, the ebook is about 20 to 25 pages. It's a short read. It ain't this long, okay? It ain't this long. I'm just a nerd for information and I want to learn and I want to know. Okay, good. I may not remember it, but don't hold me to it, okay? But I will remember like your name, your at name, and your picture. So thank you so much for your support. So if you're wanting to just cut all through the fluff and you want to know what it is that you need to do, like just Lala, give me the steps and I'm gonna do it. Because I'm a person that takes action. If that is you, go to the top of my profile. You don't need to speak. You don't need to do anything. You don't have to tell me who it is. Go to the top of my profile. Press the link. It's going to say the habitual journey. And it's an ebook. And it's the exact habits and exact steps I took to overcome my anxiety. Listen, to overcome my anxiety and depression in 90 days. When I started to dedicate myself to these steps, it took 90 fucking days, okay? Remember, I said I've been suffering for 5 years. Taking medications, going to therapy, going to psychiatrists, trying different meds, getting outbreaks. So many things, right? I'm going to get that. I'm driving now and will when I stop. Okay, no problem. I can't wait to see your support. I have tried so much, right? So many different things. And when I say, you know what, I'm gonna give myself 90 days. I'm going to give myself 90 days of straight hard work, of straight focus, laser focusedness, okay? Remember, I was depressed, but I had to figure out something, okay? I couldn't keep using depression as the reason why I couldn't fight back for my life, because I honestly felt like I wouldn't be here today, y'all. I wouldn't be here telling you my experience. I wouldn't be here telling you what helped me because I was on that verge of just ending it all. I was truly suffering. My mind was fighting against me. I didn't know what else to do. Doctors couldn't help me, but let's try this next med. I was on about the 5th medication. My goodness. When is this going to stop? So, and what I love about this, right, because it doesn't absolve me from having anxiety again. It doesn't absolve me from becoming depressed again. That may happen. Who knows? But guess what? I have the tools to overcome it. I feel so secure in myself and so confident that I know what to do to nurture myself out of depression. I do have a YouTube. Do I know the name? I probably don't. Let me look for the name. Child, this is dead. I can't even give you the name. Damn. Okay, I don't have the name. I'll probably, if you added me, I'll probably add you back and send you the name of the YouTube. I haven't posted the picture in a while. A video in a while, but you just made me get my shit together without even knowing. You just put me in check right there. But I have been through so much, right? And mental health, like fighting against my mental health has been a journey for me. And like I said, it doesn't absolve us of it happening. Life is life. Bills gonna bills. Life gonna turn and go up and go down. We can't control that. We can't control that. What we can do is get better at reacting. Okay, because remember, everything's about our perception, right? It's about our reaction, even with anxiety. Anxiety teaches how to deal with life, if you want to be honest. Anxiety teaches you how to deal with the worst of life. I don't know nothing more worse than having your own body and your own mind go against you. I don't know what's worse than that. I'm definitely going to, I'm going to actually download it and post it. You're right. Thank you. I don't know what's worse than that. What's worse than having your own mind and your own body turn towards you? Tell me. Let me know. I'm okay to be corrected. What's worse than that? Waking up and feeling like you in doom immediately. You just woke up. There is no reason why you should be feeling so afraid and heart panicking, and like, there's no reason. So this is why it's important to take responsibility for what we can do. Because what you will start to notice is that you can't depend on nobody like how you could depend on yourself. And once you start showing up for yourself consistently, you will learn that you can lean on you just a little bit more. And that's what life about. Lean on myself just a little bit more. Let me show myself that I'm dependable. Let me stop trying to depend on this man or this woman or this teacher or this therapist or this mom or this dad. But let me show myself how dependable I am. And what you start to do is you start to teach people how to treat you. Right? And that's a whole nother story for another day. But I just want to give you that little nugget right there. When you start to show up for yourself in this journey of fighting against or overcoming your depression or your anxiety, when you start showing up for yourself, there is nothing no one can tell you. Because you're going to start feeling like you the shit once you get over it. Like I did that. That's how I feel. When I talk about me overcoming my own anxiety, overcoming depression, clinical depression, not just something that I slapped on for myself, but clinical depression, OCD, clinical OCD. When I overcame that, oh, I felt like the baddest. Oh, I did. I feel like nothing can stop me. Nothing is too hard for me. As long as I put my mind towards it, I can overcome anything that comes my way. Because I have went through the darkest night of the soul, like the darkest of the dark. My family, everyone have seen how dark I've gotten and didn't even know who I was anymore. Like you have to be so low to get to that point. And I was able to drag myself out of that to where I'm sitting here on this couch today, being able to offer you something that I sat down and put my heart. I had to go through what I went through to get that ebook and put it together for you guys. And that shit wasn't no joke. I had to really think about, like, damn girl, you was low. You was 1 second from ending it all. Nobody took you serious. They just gave you another medication. Nobody never took you serious enough to know that this girl may not be here tomorrow. And I'm just being real with you, because most of us don't be real about our mental health journey. People come on here, just sell you stuff, but they don't really tell you like how deep it got. They tell you what manifestation tip you can do and what's all this, but they don't really tell you how deep it got, what steps they took to truly overcome it. And I wanted to do something different. I wanted to show you, like, what did I do? Thank you so much. Like what I did, and I gave it to you, no fluff. I'm the person that you can always count on to give you no fluff. I'm not going to fluff nothing for you. Okay? I cuss like a sailor, and I'm going to give it to you straight with no chaser. Always. When you come on this live, it's going to always be straight, no chaser. Because that's what we need. It's time out with the cuddling and the coddling and the pacifying. We have to stop doing that. Because what that tends to do is keep you in the same cycle. Let's bring it back to what we're talking about. If you coddle and pacify your anxiety, you're going to stay in the same cycle, which is what a lot of us do. We coddle and pacify our anxiety. Okay, hush, little, hush, it's okay. Like, that's what we do. Think about it, baby. We coddle our own anxiety, and then we wonder why it's getting bigger. We wonder why it's still here. We wonder why we have to take benzos now just to sleep. I was to that point. I had to take benzos now. My goodness. First, it was just depression. Now I got this going on. So we need to cut it out with the coddling, with the pacifying. We have to be big girl, big boy, whatever you are, and take responsibility and take our power back. That fight was personal for me. When it came to fighting for my mind, that was personal. Because I had a son to live for. I had a spouse that wanted to see me live. Even if I felt like I wasn't worthy of living for, because I had to use them for a little bit, I fought because my spouse and my child deserved to see me live. And I deserved to see me live. So I had to personally fight for my mind. And that's a different type of battle. So remember, our dare, okay? That's what it's called when you're fighting against anxiety. If anxiety is controlling your life, okay? If anxiety is controlling what you wear, who you talk to, where you go, how you go, what you eat, how you eat, if anxiety, that's a problem. We have a problem here, sis. We have a problem. If anxiety is controlling you to that aspect, we have a problem that we need to fix. And I want you to go ahead and use the DARE program that I just talked about. Diffuse, allow it, run towards, engage. And if you want to know exactly, because I done went through it already, if you want to know every step, okay, like I said, I don't give you all of this. This is cute. This is cute. But when you with somebody if you somebody that's dealing with anxiety, this can be overwhelming. This is too much. I need to know what's going to help, okay? And I need to go ahead and do these steps. Go to the top of the link in my bio. Press the link it's part of the last option. It's going to say the Habitual Journey ebook. Purchase it. Like I said, it's only $5. Nothing to lose. Read it. And I want you to come back. I want you to do one action step. Okay? Because if you want to, this is a trick. If you want to take action, right? If you want to make change, when you read something, you need to take action within the first 20 to 30 minutes. I'm a Scorpio. You need to take action within the first 20 to 30 minutes to imprint it into your head. So you're going to read the ebook. Like I said, it's not much fluff. You just going to read it. You're going to get your first step immediately. Do that first step immediately. Come back tomorrow because I'm going to be here 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come back tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And tomorrow I'm coming with my tip jar. Okay, it's going to be right here above my head. So you guys can tip me for my knowledge of years of suffering to come on here with you guys, okay? Tomorrow, come and let me know which action step that you did. Or, I'm not going to make you feel judgy, which action step that you want to do. And I'm going to let you know, okay, you got till today to do this and come back the next day. Okay, because remember, we all about action. We take action because we're going to make change. So that is what we're doing. Go to the link in my bio. Go ahead and purchase it. Let me know what you think. Give me your criticism. Give me what you think about it. What it's giving you. I want to know because, like I said, it's my baby. It's my most prized possession. It's what I use to overcome my mental health journey. And if I was to ever go through something, I would do it again. I would take it. I'm actually about to go print it up and just have it in a pamphlet so I can have it with me. So if I'm ever going through something, that's what I'm going to be using. That is my protocol. Period. Because it's tried and true for me. It works. It's going to always work because guess what? I use science and spirituality and I put them together. The problem is a lot of people are just spiritually bypassing, right? Oh, just pray about it. That's not going to work for us. We gotta have action, right? So I use both science-based things that's going to help you overcome your depression and anxiety. And don't expect it to happen overnight. You're going to show up every single day for yourself. And you're going to do the steps and the work that it takes to overcome it. And once you are on the other side of that, you're going to feel so much better. Okay? I thank you so much for joining me today. My heart, if you come back tomorrow, I'll have the name of my YouTube. And I appreciate you guys' support. Bye-bye. Take it one step at a time.